What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Onyxcoin today, XCN USD. It is the 12th day of November, and here we are with about not 10 minutes left in the day, but 10 hours and 10 minutes left in the day. We've got 0.00681 as the price, and I do believe we have found our low. I do believe we are going to move up higher from here. We're just probably waiting on Bitcoin and the rest of the markets to do their thing. And whenever things show up, we should see Onyxcoin rapidly approach this 1 cent price area. Breaking above 1 cent, I think, will be key, but really breaking above 1.3, 1.4 cents, that area is really what we're watching for, because breaking above there should quote unquote allow us to go up to 2 cents and even beyond, right? 2 cents is the ultimate area to pay attention to. Once we break above 2 cents, it's game on, and that's why we're so excited about the thought of the thought of breaking above like 1.3, 1.4 cents, because that's like the second to last step before we're on our path to riches and glory, to the area, to the promised land that we've been long awaiting for, man. From a high to a low, it's going to seem like a fever dream, right? Like right now, I don't know about you guys, but anybody investing in Onyxcoin, I'm not having the best time. I'm having a good time in life. I'm just not having the best time with this investment, right? I don't think anybody is, especially any investments that we've made over the months, right, which have been a plenty. They're all in the red right now, right? The initial investment is in the green, but the overall investment, not so much. I drew it over here. I don't know. Was it here? Was it here? I don't remember. Was it before the high, after the high? I don't even remember. Anyways, when we do break out, the expectation is that from here we see something on the overall lines of a 13x at a minimum to a 27x at a maximum. And I personally am in favor of this breaking out to the 18 to 19 cent area, which is our technical all-time high. It doesn't show it on this chart, but this is like the all-time high area. Actually, we have a little bit of a move up or something like this before the chart came out. It looks like that, something like that. Anyways, something in the zone of like 9 to 19 cents is where we're going to go. And I wouldn't be surprised if we found resistance along the way. If we came up, found resistance at various places, even at some of these levels here on our way up there. But I do believe that going into the end of this year, we should be well on our way to prices that are around 19 cents. If we're not here by the end of the year, we're likely going to be above 10 cents still by the end of the year. That'd be my thoughts. By the end of the month of November, I don't know. It's hard to say. This thing could move up at such a pace that we really could be above 5 cents by the end of November. Maybe we're only at 2 cents, but I don't know. And I don't really care, because when we're above 2 cents, that's when things will really kick off. So we could spend the rest of this month getting into getting above 2 cents, and then December can be the month where the real pop off happens. But we are looking to find some life here. I do think that the low is in. Let's look at the short-term stuff. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's really let's get into it. Okay, the 1 hour time frame here. Looking at this, and we are on Coinbase, where there's some decent volume. Let's just see. I'm making sure there's no gaps. There is a little gap. Let's be fair. There is a little gap right here. 1 hour close right there, and then you wicked right down here. There's a little gap between 00609 and 00611. You might think that's insignificant, and maybe you're right. Maybe it is insignificant. I don't know. But Coinbase typically does fill its gaps on the 1 hour time frame. I've noticed that. Not always. Not all of them. They don't all fill, but it could. It really could. It's possible. Something to be open-minded to, right? If Bitcoin were to return to lower prices, Onyxcoin might find a higher low here, or something just below. Maybe we form a double bottom overall. I'm not calling for that, but it's just something to be aware of nonetheless. I'd be a lot less concerned about this if and when we are back around 1 cent, okay? Looking at the 1 hour indicators, the RSI for me is bullish. It does look bullish overall. I mean, we're bouncing off the 40. We broke out of our uptrend, right? You had higher lows here. You broke out of this. You formed a downtrend, but then you took your downtrend and you turned it back into an uptrend, is what it looks like right now, right? We've actually shifted it into a sideways phase, and we probably do roll that back over. This is bullish. When you break out of an uptrend, you typically go to the oversold zone. So the fact that you couldn't even do that, the fact that you're finding support at the 40 consistently here, it definitely gives me some hope that we are going to move up from here right now. When we look at this, let's see. This trend line here. Right, we've kind of broken out of this trend, back tested it for support. I think today could be a good day, you guys. Today, the 12th, might be a good day. By the time you guys watch this, who knows? We could be well above 007, maybe even 008. This thing, when it moves, it moves pretty fast. The stochastics are reaching for the overbought zone, and the MACD here, MACD is whatever. It's the 1 hour time frame. It's bullish, but I mean overall kind of insignificant, really. Very, very disrespected. 4-hour time frame. Looking at this here, we did break out of our uptrend, but again, we're holding support here, kind of in a neutral posture right here with an overall bullish kind of stance. So I would lean to the upside with that. Stochastics look like they want to get moving to the upside as well, right? Coming out of the oversold zone, pointed upwards with both of these indicators. That's nice to see. So that would make me think that we do move higher. And then the MACD, we did break above the zero, which you guys know my theory about that, right? On the 4-hour time frame, when we break above the zero, we consolidate for about a day, day and a half to 3 days. We've been consolidating now for about 2.5 days almost, right? 2 days and 4 hours, something like that. We could be breaking out to the upside at any moment now. And typically, whenever you get this kind of reaction in the MACD where you do cross above the zero, we consolidate. Typically, the next move up is actually better than the move that led us into this. So this move here, which I don't know how to measure it, would it be from this low to this high, or would it be the more relative move from this low to this high? I don't know what to think of it. Let's just see here real quick. I would probably consider this move more. Not because it's bigger, but it does look like one move overall. And with the oscillators, that was whenever you like started to move up. So from that low there, if we put this and compare it to this low here, not only should it be bigger, should we go above this high, but we should also see it happen faster. So that would target 0079, right below 008. We'd likely see a larger move that is also faster. Again, that's just typical of what I normally see when we get a successful cross above the zero on the 4-hour time frame. You cross, you consolidate, and then you rally again. And when you rally again, it's typically a bigger move than your move that led you into the cross, which would be this move here. And not only is it bigger, but it's faster. So I do think, looking at it this way, the 4-hour time frame, that'd be Saturday the 15th. So before Saturday, we're likely going to be back above 0085 or 008. That'd be my thoughts. Maybe higher than that. Let's actually zoom in here and look at this a little bit. Hold on. What would make sense to stop at that's above here, right? Well, we wouldn't really stop here. It might make the most sense to at least stop here. At the most stop here, I suppose, 0085, or we could go all the way up here, just below a cent. I would think that this next move, by the end of this week, does put us above, if not around, 0085. Okay, so we should be there or higher. It's Wednesday now, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Over the next 3 days, 3 days and 10 hours, roughly, we should see a 25 to 40% pop. Good. That's nice. It's not nice in the grand scheme of everything, but we'll take it. We'll take it. That's not bad. From the low, that could be an overall 65% move. That's one of the bigger moves, hopefully that's sustainable, that we've seen throughout this whole kind of downtrend, right? We're nowhere near breakout territory with that, but a little bit of optimism nonetheless going into the end of the week is what I would expect. And again, the MACD makes me bullish, the stochastics make me bullish, and the RSI overall is bullish too. It's kind of neutral right now, but overall it's bullish. The daily time frame here, coming out of the oversold zone, you got to the deepest levels that we've seen since 2023, right? Yeah, since 2023, since August of 2023. Deepest levels that we've seen since then. Crazy stuff, okay? Very, very low on the totem pole there. It is possible that we could come down, and again, I don't think this is going to happen, but it's something to be aware of, right? As Onyxcoin investors, we need to be aware of the downside. If it happens, we do have the setup ready for bullish divergence, where we could come down, form a higher low, and get bullish divergence. So even if we go lower, we will likely have very bullish setups, bullish divergence on the MACD, on the stochastics, and the RSI, all on the daily time frames. So these higher prices that we're talking about would still happen, just maybe at a later date, right? That would be the thought there. And we would go down just a little bit lower. If we were to go lower, I doubt that we go below like 0045, but we could go down, somewhere between 0055, 0046, somewhere in this zone if we were to go lower. I don't think we go lower. I'm confident that this is the low. That's what my call is. If we go down here, I'll be wrong. But if we do go down here, it's something to be aware of. That way we don't panic sell and make the worst decision at the worst possible time, right? I don't think that we're going to go lower. The daily MACD is just crossed green, which is nice to see. Typically, these green crosses do promote more bullish momentum being built over the coming days, so hopefully that does push us higher. The stochastics, in my opinion, look like they want to go higher, but again, we've been being held down by this kind of trend here, Can we break this trend on this attempt? If we can get above, not just break these trends, but get above this point here, the highest point there, if we can get back above the 50 on the stochastics, I'd be very convinced that not only is this the low, but that we're likely moving up above 1 cent over the coming weeks, certainly by the end of this month. The RSI also looks ready to break out of its downtrend on the daily time frame, right? Lower highs here. It's pretty close, and you're kind of breaking out of it right now, but we'll see. Continue building, continue closing days to the green effect, and then we will be breaking out of that. That'll be significant as well in the daily time frame, breaking out of a downtrend. So overall, guys, we're just waiting. We're waiting patiently. 4 days, 10 hours left in this week. I know that it looks kind of ugly so far with this wick to the upside, but I do think that going into the end of this week, we should see higher prices. By the end of this week, I'm assuming we will be here a little bit higher than that. We'll be about here or higher. That'd be my thoughts, right? I would really like to see a weekly close above this weekly low close here. I think that would be great. So if we could close above 00872 this week or any week, I think that would be the first kind of domino to fall in a very bullish set of dominoes, right? Close above there on a weekly basis, and then we need to close above here on a daily basis, and then once we close above there on a daily basis, we close above 2 cents on a weekly basis, we're home free. And by this time, we will have already notably broken out of our downtrend, right? We already would have notably broken out of it, depending on how you want to draw the trend line. Even if you draw it from here, right? Like I'm trying to draw a straight line, but even above this line here, you're breaking out of this trend line. Breaking out of the trend line and getting higher highs, higher weekly closes together, that would be a powerful combination. That would be a signal that we are, in fact, ready to move to higher highs. So there's 3 things that we need to do, right? Close above 00872 on a weekly basis, close above 0135 on a daily basis, and then 2 cents, close above there on a daily. A weekly basis would look nicer. And then we're home free. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye-bye.